This is your boy OG Kevin Gill from the legendary and revolutionary Game Changer Wrestling crew. You were watching Drinking at Moe's. Drink it.
All right, everybody, welcome to Drinking at Moe's. Your host, Big Mo here. A little bit of a change of plans for tonight, but, you know, I'm still excited for this one because I got one of the commentary team for Game Changer Wrestling, Kevin Gill. How the hell you doing?
I am great, Big Mo. How the hell are you?
Oh, I can't complain. You know, things are picking up for the show. I mean, I'm not at like a Denise Salcedo level yet, but I mean, I seem to be picking up subscribers for the YouTube version every week, at least a handful of weeks. So, I mean, it's growing. So,
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yep. And like, I've been able to get invited down to when Warrior Wrestling did their St. Louis show. Was a part of their fan fest, so that was pretty sweet experience.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and you guys have Game Changer have had a pretty big last couple of weekends there with Tournament of Survival and the Cage of Survival, which I bought both of those shows on Fight, and holy shit.
Yeah, they were insane.
Oh, yeah. Like that. I mean, I remember talking with Alex Colon about the Cage of Survival, and I'm like, God damn, that part where there was that part of the cage wall that was kind of leaning over and I guess had a pane of glass on it. And then he fell and like the whole chain link on the fence broke. And it's like, ouch.
Yeah, fucking super painful, man. Those guys are fucking insane.
Oh God.
That's all I can say.
I always tell people that it's like, you think that stuff's fake, you go try that one in particular.
Yeah, give that a shot, see how you do.
But yeah, I say that those two that were in that match are probably like, people talk about Mount Rushmore this, Mount Rushmore that, and like, you talk about Mount Rushmore of deathmatch wrestling, those two have to at least be in the discussion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially Alex Colon to me is, you know, the GOAT. He's the best in North America, best on the continent, all that to me. But I think there can certainly be an argument. I mean, there's certainly a lot of fans that would echo what you're saying, that John Wayne Murdoch has earned that spot and deserves to be there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, at least in the discussion, if not on it.
For sure.
But yeah, like, then, I mean, you go into just this last weekend with what was it, the Melrose Ballroom there in New York City?
Yeah, Melrose Ballroom in Queens, New York, man. What a fucking venue. What a show. What everything.
Oh, man. I mean, so many matches there. Like, I remember, Game Changer, the Twitter account, is actually retweeted a couple times when I made this, that nobody does a scramble match like Game Changer.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I don't envy like you guys on commentary having to call some of those, because it's like so much going on everywhere. There's like, how the hell do you keep up with it?
Yeah, just the amount of people, the amount of movement, and then sometimes the scramble has been a great place for introducing new talents as well. So you'll get like a mix sometimes, and just making sure you know who's who and what's what can be a challenge.
Oh yeah. Oh, and like, who was? I know John Wayne Murdoch was actually on the scramble for that New York City show, and then the other one that. The other match for that New York City show that I actually bought the show for this match and then the Moxley match in particular, but the SATs and their match, they were actually the first ever interview I did over Zoom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they like, I think I retweeted something of B-Boys and they liked it. And I'm like, whoa, I know those guys. And then a lot of the nationally known people that I've gotten on the show, I've kind of been like going in thinking I'm going to get turned down. And then I'm just like, you know what? This might be a long shot, but here, let's see if it works.
Yeah, shoot your shot, man. That's the secret and the key to a lot of people's success. Sometimes it's knowing when to shoot your shot, but other times it's just shooting your shot. It's 6 of one, half dozen of another. It just depends on the scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been lucky enough. You know, I either the ones that actually get back to me, I think I've really only been turned down less than a handful of times. So,
well, that's good. You got a good ratio going on.
Oh yeah, and you know, this starting in July, I got a pretty good start coming. I know Billy Starks on the 5th. I'm supposed to talk with her, and I mean, good Lord, at such a young age, already accomplishing a ton.
Yeah, she's amazing. One of the, when I was saying before about sometimes like the scramble can introduce new talent, and then just making you sure you know everyone who everyone is. It's always funny because I think it might have been Billy Stark's first scramble in GCW, but on like the lineup sheet in the locker room, it just said Bill S on the sheet. And I remember me and Dave Prazak are racking our brains like right as the show's about to start. I'm like, who the fuck is Bill S? You know what I mean? And then we realized that it's Billy Starks or William Starks. You know what I mean? Willie Starks.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, another, you know, going from her, another amazing young talent that's been making their name there in GCW, Nick Wayne.
Oh God, man.
Like that match he had with Will Ospreay this last Sunday, I swear if that's not in the conversation for match of the year, I don't know.
Yeah, to me, I'm not sure what match would be ahead of it right now, honestly, at least any match that I've seen. Like, to me, it's a match of the year, and I would say that Tony Deppen versus John Moxley from Saturday in Queens would certainly be in that conversation. But yeah, what Nick Wayne obviously is a supreme talent, the benefits of being a third-generation star, being in a great company like GCW. Obviously, now he has an AEW contract too, but the amount of seasoning and brotherhood and life lessons and things being taught to him, like everyone in GCW looks at Nick Wayne like their little brother or their son or whatever. And yeah. I've been on a lot of car rides with Nick Wayne. I've shared hotel rooms with Nick Wayne, and I've witnessed, just the vets, the people that have been in it, 10 years, 15 years or more. They'll just sit down and it's just like pulling the string, and it's all just life advice, career advice. Here's the mistakes I made, Nick Wayne. Don't make these mistakes. You know what I mean? And you add that to what he learned from his father and what he learns from his mother and from his grandfather. And, it's just, and multiply that by his passion, his dedication, his talent. The kid is a super, super talent and as humble and as hardworking and as nice as they come.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember, speaking of, humble and nice, I remember watching I kind of brought up Denise Salcedo earlier, but his interview with her was great. And, you could definitely tell the knowledge that he's already picking up from everybody.
Oh, I didn't realize he had done an interview with Hollywood Salcedo.
Yeah. Like, I think it was back when the whole Vegas trip down there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that she was going there for, I think it was the Double or Nothing weekend.
Sure.
And everybody was doing a show down there, and that was a pretty good interview. And like, I remember, I mean, if people want to hear different things about Nick Wayne, I mean, about the opinion people have of him, just go and listen to that little speech Will Ospreay had at the end of that match on Sunday.
Oh yeah, and I know DJ Tony D on Twitter. I didn't get to see it yet, but I walked in on them filming it. He filmed like a little 7 or 8 minute documentary about Nick Wayne's journey to face Will Ospreay, and then got some post match comments from Nick Wayne, and kind of put it all together into a really cool cinematic video that I have in my queue of things to watch. But I wanted to shout that out, and I just know because Nick Wayne's in it, and if DJ Tony D produced it, then you know it's the bomb. So I can easily recommend it without having seen it myself. And the only reason I didn't see it myself is I want to watch it on the big screen TV. Like I didn't want to experience it on my phone when I was first sent it, you know?
Nope, I got you there. I know a lot of my friends that have supported my show, they try to put it on app on the TV and watch the YouTube versions on there. And I'll admit I'm probably my own worst critic. I have yet to actually watch any of mine back because I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It was fun doing it. It was a fun conversation, but I don't like watching myself talk.
Sure. Well, you could always just watch back and listen too. Sometimes, like I've done a lot of interviews, being the interviewer and the interviewee. And I think it helps me when I hear stuff back just to know, just to kind of hear how it's all going and the balance of conversation and et cetera.
Oh yeah, no, that I can see that. And I mean, I've listened to, okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I've had that issue with my internet before, but where were we? We're talking about Nick Wayne. But
the greatness of Nick Wayne, the new Tony D documentary.
Yes. And then I remember, we were talking about how I didn't, I haven't watched back many of my interviews. And for the most part, like people will tell me, oh, you can improve here, but you did great here. And I'll just take note of that and try to use that towards the future ones.
Sure.
But I know GCW, you guys got a show coming up on the 30th. Am I right? It's a GOA.
Is that the I always forget I've been there many times, but I got turned around on how to say it. Is it Sauget, Illinois or Sauget, Illinois? Sauget, right?
It might be. I'd have to go back and look. But I remember
that's the St. Louis area show. That's the St. Louis area one?
I think that might be this weekend. I'm forgetting. I know there's one Gateway to Death that
that's in St. Louis. It pops in Sauget or whichever it is, Illinois.
Yeah, and then there's a DOA show. I was pretty sure because I know Alex Colon is on it, and the GCW Twitter had tweeted about it. So
yeah, they tweet a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's like a nonstop deluge of matches, highlights, video packages, and all that. The GCW truly never sleeps. We are the last outlaws.
Yeah, y'all do amazing work, I swear. And while I do this, I'm gonna make sure I get something so my mother-in-law's dog will shut up. But GCW puts on like pretty consistently good stuff. Like I know ever since I started actually paying attention like consistently, that like I've never been disappointed with a show. Like I personally love the Art of War game show.
Fuck. Oh yeah, that's one of the best shows ever. Absolutely insane atmosphere there in the building. Everything. Just I feel like that was the one. If there was one show that the cameras couldn't fully capture the feeling and excitement just because of the scope of it, it was War Games. Just being in that building and hearing those monster pops and ovations and roars.
Oh yeah,
it was something else. And knowing that from we finally got some attention from some of the wrestling media, like Dave Meltzer. That was his first ever, maybe only so far, GCW show. Brian Alvarez came to it as well. So it felt cool to see people who I've been reading or listening to for a long time, to see them, take a break from watching Stardom and New Japan World and Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage, to come out and check out, where the bleeding edge of wrestling. You know what I mean? The indies to me are always the most exciting, organic place, because it's all driven by love of the game. It's all driven by passion. It is what it is in the best way possible. You know what I mean? And when you watch companies like GCW, what you're really doing is just looking into the future of wrestling, because everyone you're seeing there now, you'll be seeing somewhere great in the future. You know what I mean? And that can be GCW, or that could be AEW, it could be WWE, it could be New Japan, NWA. You know what I'm saying? Impact Wrestling. Yeah. There's a lot of great places to work.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, a lot of great places. It's a pretty good time to be a pro wrestling fan with the sheer amount of choices out there.
Yeah, I worry it's almost too many choices sometimes. Like there's, you know what I mean? Because you want, it's like trees having enough water to water their roots and get enough sunlight and whatever. And it's great. A robust scene benefits the wrestlers, it benefits the fans, but the whole package, like the amount of stuff WWE does and AEW and New Japan and Ring of Honor, everyone putting out.
All right, I'll try to do some editing there. Anyways, one thing I was gonna mention, I remember in doing some homework for when I had thought about doing the interview with you, about your history with the video game industry. What would you say is one of, do you get much time first to play them much right now? Because I know GCW with the travel schedule and everything. And then what are some of your favorites that are out right now?
I don't get to play as much as I'd like, because I'd like to just play them all the time. You know what I mean? So, I do. It's weird. I've really narrowed my focus. I've pretty much become monogamous in my video game relationship. I pretty much only play one game, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I like it so much that I don't care. So I guess when I get tired of it, I'll play. I have. It's not like I've never played another game, in this time. But I primarily just play Call of Duty Zombies. I fucking love it. And the Call of Duty Zombies from the new or the latest up till now, which is Call of Duty Vanguard, but there's always a new Call of Duty literally about to come out. But Call of Duty Vanguard has the best zombies mode ever to date, and I could just play it endlessly all day, all night, every day. But I use it as kind of a tool to decompress or reduce stress, and as a reward, if I do this, then I can play Call of Duty, you know what I mean? Or, I'll look forward to it as a way to get me through. But I'll play that on PS5, and I love it. But I mean, there's so many great games out there. The Spider-Man game was really cool. That was a PS5 launch title. But there's a lot of great ones. But then I'll even pick up some games and never play them. I got the new Left 4 Dead because I really enjoyed the earlier Left 4 Deads. But it's just Call of Duty Zombies, man. Nothing can fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to check around. I got the good shit already in the disc.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. I have a long history of loving lots of different games and all that, but just the last year or more, the whole pandemic era, easy. I had never really played it before, and I played it, but I didn't play it I'm going to sit down and play this constantly.
Yeah.
And Ron Funches and his friends were doing a lot of playthroughs on Twitch, and they would always invite me to play. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to play zombies. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh my God, like this is because you have friends on the headset with you, and they're teaching you because there's no instructions for these games. You're just kind of thrown into a world. So to have someone being like, oh yeah, here's these little subtleties and tips, it just became a really fun experience. So now whether they're playing or not, and then now they're already playing 10 other games, and they're like, man, you still playing zombies, KG? Like, dude, well, I don't need anything else. It's so visceral, man. It's the only game I've ever played that it gives me like adrenaline, like it makes your heart race when you play it. There's no other game to me that does that, at least not one that I've played.
Oh yeah, the further you get in the waves of zombies and zombie modes, oh man, you really get that blood pumping.
My only critique between the newest setting, the newest one in Vanguard and the previous one, is that the previous one, it would take 2 minutes or so to load up the next level. There'd be these little pauses that you could run and get a drink. You could run and use the bathroom, whatever. Now the shit is so fucking fast. And when you get to the later levels, it's just on the second the thing starts. So it's like, there's no pause. There's no anything. And if you're playing with strangers, you have to just be like, yo, do not press start the mission yet. Like, I'm going to get something out of the kitchen. But so many times I would just hide out behind some building for like a minute, run in the kitchen to put ice cubes in a cup, and I'll rush back and they'll be like, you've been kicked from the game for inactivity. Like, I've been inactive for like 90 seconds. So now I'll sometimes give the controller to my girlfriend or whatever, and she'll be doing something else. I'll be like, just move this stick. You know what I mean? Just a little bit, nothing crazy. Just move this in the circle for a minute, just to ensure I don't get bounced.
Yeah, just enough that it's not like you're just standing there and, people might come by and see you running around in circles and like, what the hell is going on here?
But at least I'm not inactive and I'm not moving into like a dangerous area. So it's like the perfect formula. But yeah, I love that shit, man. And video games is like anything else. You know what I mean? They're a great outlet. They're a great escape. It can be too much, obviously, if you literally just play them all the time. And if you make your whole life that, you know what I mean? You may miss out on other experiences, but it just depends. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everything. You know what I mean? A good balance of everything, or at least a few things that you like. Wrestling. To me, wrestling obviously takes up more time, but cooking is fun. You know what I mean? Going for a walk is fun. Reading the new Tito Santana book I guess it's new. I got the Tito Santana book is new to me, but I think it's been out for a few months.
Yeah, I have one wrestling related book I'm wanting to get is that Moxley one. I've been hearing great about it.
Yeah, the same. I've heard such incredible things about it, and I actually, no one asked me to do this, but I did a little commercial for his book during the pay-per-view on Saturday when he was doing his ring introductions against Tony Deppen, because I had read a press release that the book had just come out on audiobook with him reading it.
I think I remember this.
And he's such a, you know what I mean? He's such a unique, charismatic enigma. You know what I mean? That to me, him reading his own book, in his own voice, like, to me, that's like massively appealing. Like, I love reading, but I would like to hear him read it. It's the first time where I ever wanted to hear someone read their book rather than me read it. You know what I mean? And not that he needs my endorsement or plug, but I just thought it was a nice way to, you know what I'm saying? Let the GCW solar system know about Jon Moxley's latest output.
Oh yeah, no, and I actually think I remember seeing that shortly before the show, and then hearing you talking about it during that part of the show. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that.
It cements it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cement it so that everybody picks up Jon Moxley's new book. And then someday I'll get to be on Renee Paquette's podcast, where she'll acknowledge any of the shout outs I've given her on GCW. She's always watching. But
oh, yeah. No, I hear her talking about GCW quite a bit whenever her husband there comes up.
Oh yeah, they're a great couple. Great individual talents, and I'm glad that it looks like this move to the Midwest has been a great thing for both of them.
Yeah, they not well. I mean, they're a couple states away from me. Me being in Omaha, Nebraska. But yeah, no, that's going to be a good thing for them. I mean, you're in the middle of the country, not too far to go one way or the other. So
yeah, you can go anywhere.
Although here in Omaha, you can't really get anywhere fast right now with the College World Series going on.
Oh man.
Oh God, I have one of my wife's cousins works not all that far from where the games are being played, and he's like, "Oh, you should come down." And I'm like, if I don't have tickets to the game, I'm not going anywhere near downtown right now. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have weird enough history with the College World Series and, having to be in Omaha. When I left for the Navy, little did I know that they were going to be shipping me out to boot camp around College World Series time. And I went, I did all the screening, did the paperwork, and I'm waiting there for my family to come see me off, and come to find out, no, they couldn't even find me a flight out.
Wow.
So I was in the Navy a whole day before I even left for boot camp.
Damn those collegiate sports.
Yeah.
At least the athletes are now getting
yes.
Don't they now get something for their image and likeness and their use in video games and
oh yeah,
ticket sales and merch money and all that the colleges have been pocketing for years while turning their head to improprieties and improper conduct?
Oh yeah, and now because of that, they'll going back to the video games, they're like maybe a year or two away from bringing back the college football video game.
Okay, why did they stop it? Just because of this, or just because they
because of that? Basically, there's a group of players that got upset that their likenesses were being used in the video games and they weren't getting anything for it.
Of course. And yeah, those video games make bank.
Oh yeah. The only thing I didn't get about it was, I mean, that was the game that, like, sports games that I would buy every year. And until you, like, if you tried playing Dynasty mode, the only way that names would even be on the jerseys was if you got like a year or two into it.
Okay. And I know people used to have like manually add them and stuff like that. Yeah, I know they don't literally include at least they didn't include like the players' names or whatever things, but it's still it's still them. Do you know what I mean? And well, the same thing with the schools. They're selling jerseys and hats and all that stuff. But then they kind of hide behind collegiate athletes can't be paid. But then it's like, well, then you shouldn't be able to make money off them, or the money should go into just providing scholarships for, you know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a better way.
Totally agree. But, one thing I didn't want to forget, I remember, speaking of fellow people here in Omaha, I remember, what was this, a week or two ago? You were on a good friend of mine's podcast, Val Pancakes.
Oh yeah, Val's awesome. That was one of the funnest interviews I've done in a long time. I did one with her, and then I did one with the Comedians of Wrestling podcast, and both of those were just really, really amongst my favorite interviews.
That's awesome. Like, I remember with Val, I've really known her for a few years now, when we're both just people in the crowd, and then she started being the one at the shows taking the tickets, and a friend of hers ended up becoming one of the commentary team for one of the functions here in town.
Sure.
And her podcast, she seems to be doing rather well for herself there with the bald monkeys and that whole thing. And you know, she's even given me some tips because, you know, being relatively new to the game, I, you know, full of questions and all that.
Sure. Yeah, no, she's awesome, and she has a great energy, and we had a real fun, just kind of outside of the usual regular interview stuff. You know what I mean? So that was really cool.
Yeah, no.
And you know, it's been fun to chop it up and all that. I know there's a lot of GCW
I'm going to go outside while that craziness is going on.
GCW has tons of stuff upcoming that I encourage everyone to check out. It seems more weekends than not we have an event, and Game Changer Wrestling social media is the place to get all the official dates and tickets. And if you want kind of a streamlined process, if you will, there's the Game Changer Wrestling Patreon, where people get first access to event tickets, and there's a podcast that me and Brett Lauderdale do a few times a month, the official GCW podcast. And there's a lot of good shit on there. Alex Colon does a podcast too, so I encourage everyone to check that out. Give me a follow at OG Kevin Gill on Twitter and Instagram. DignifiedBastard.com is my store, and as I prepare to move and shit like that, I've been selling random collectibles and shit on my Facebook page. So it's always worth a tune in to see if there's something that you might like. But I appreciate your time and for having me on. And I know I got a delivery coming any second, so I don't want to get cut off. But I feel like we got some good shit in.
Oh yeah, no, we got some great shit in, and like I knew you had that coming up. Damn dogs won't shut up. But links and stuff will be put in the description on the YouTube version, and you know, I want to thank you for taking the time to you know, kind of last minute coming on the show.
Yeah, you know, like you said, I had said we had agreed we would do it in July, but then when I heard you had an opening today, and the future can be uncertain, but the current is right now, I said, why not?
Yep, no, that's amazing, and I'm very thankful.
No doubt. Well, shout out to you, shout out to everyone watching, shout out to everyone who watches and supports Game Changer Wrestling, and please know you could also check me out at the Underground Wrestling Alliance, which is UGWA. They have great UGWA. They have great videos up on Facebook. There's Middle Kingdom Wrestling over in China, which I do commentary for. So please check out their channel on YouTube. And I would be remiss if I did not shout out my good, close, personal, longtime friends at Real Kind Meds. Real Kind Meds are able to get my mind, get my creative process, get my sleep schedule. Real Kind Meds gets everything going right for me. So holler at Real Kind Meds on all platforms, all social media. Yes. I believe it's Real Kind Meds 421 on Twitter or Instagram. And check them out. They're good people, and get in their DMs.
Definitely. I'll be providing links to them too.
Oh, yeah, please do. That's better than my botched plug. And shout out, of course, to Deathmatch Worldwide. Shout out to Stiff Blade. And shout out to everybody out there that supports independent wrestling, because without your support, we ain't shit.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get to going. And like I've said, probably a broken record. Now, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today.
No doubt, brother. Thank you, Big Mo. And thank you for your support. Thanks for being so active on social media, and for just being a part of this scene and community, man. You are seen and you are appreciated.
It means the world to me.
Hell yeah, brother. Keep doing you. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Peace.